Hello student, today we will discuss the topic cell. As we know, cell is the basic, fundamental and structural unit of life. The cell word arises from a word celluli. This term is actually related with the discovery of cells. So first of all, I want to discuss the discovery of cell. First of all, that was discovered by Robert Hooke in year 1665. Exactly, he observed the cell under a compound microscope invented by Robert Hooke himself. He observed that cell in a cork piece. As we know today, cork cells are dead cells. So he got some hexagonal compartment-like structure, and he mentioned all these points in his book Micrographia that he got when he observed the cork piece. He got honeycomb lattice-like structure. Those have a thick wall with a huge blank space. These hexagon structure has thick wall. As we know, nowadays these thick walls are known as cell wall, and a vacant space he got here. Then he observed in the Latin language a word was there, that is celluli. The mean is a blank room or a blank space. From this word the word cell arises. So now you can understand what's the meaning of cell. So he is not only the discoverer of cell, he also termed cell. But exactly we know the cell is not blank inside, that has a lot of cellular organelles, cell organelles and cellular components. So a live cell was first of all discovered by Anton von Leeuwenhoek in year 1674. He discovered first a live cell as bacteria. As we know today, this one is a prokaryotic organism, and he told us that exactly the cell is not blank inside, that has a specific fluid contained. And later on, Felix Dujardin was the scientist who told us what is the actual chemical composition of that contain. That's why he is also known as discoverer of protoplast. And this protoplast term was given by Purkinje. After a lot of discoveries, this one has revealed that cell is the basic fundamental unit of life. So a cell theory is given by two scientists to explain what is the exact meaning of cell, what it can do, and how it's related with the living organ. There were two scientists, Schleiden, who was a botanist, and Schwann, who was a zoologist, who gave this cell theory. Some common statement of cell theory are following. Cell is the basic fundamental unit of life. Next, all the metabolic activities are performed by a cell. So exactly it's the functional unit. All the living organisms are made up of cell. That means it is the structural unit of life. The last but not the least, the cell arises from pre-existing cell. Actually, this statement is added by one more scientist, that was Rudolf Virchow, who expanded the cell theory. He stated omnis cellula is cellular. Actually, it's a Latin language. Now I'm going to clear the meaning of every term. Omnis means originates, cellula, cell, ibar, from. Again, a term cellular, that means cell. That means cell arise or cell originates from the pre-existing cell. Although the cell theory was worldwide accepted, but some exceptions are there. The first and very important exception is virus, which is known as the connecting link between living and non-living, though it doesn't have any structure like cell. Only the nuclear material is there, rest of the components are not found, but still it's alive. When this enters in the cell, in a living cell, this one behave like a living organism. The second very important exception is RBC, mammalian RBC. Mammalian RBC is, although it's living, but it's devoid of nucleus. Similarly, one more structure is there that is present in plants, sieve cells. When they form sieve tubes, though they are living, but they are devoid of nuclear material. Similarly, many more exceptions are available. Now I'm coming to the types of a cell is classified on the basis of nucleus into two categories. Either this one is considered as a prokaryotic cell or a eukaryotic cell. I'm going to split the word, that is pro plus karyon plus eta. Pro means earlier or primitive. Karyon means nuclear. Eta means to keep. If the cell keeps primitive kind of nuclear, that means the nuclear which is without nuclear envelope and nucleolus is a prokaryotic cell. While the second one is the eukaryotic cell. U means true, karyon means again nucleus, and eta means to keep. So if a cell keep true nuclear, that means the nuclear that is bounded by nuclear envelope, and this one also has nucleolus. Such a kind of well developed nuclear is true nuclear. So true nuclear keeping cells are eukaryotic. Primitive cells are prokaryotic, like I am writing the example. Bacteria is a prokaryotic cell. Blue-green algae or cyanobacteria, they are also prokaryotic in nature. One more example is there, mycoplasma, PPLO, pleuropneumonia-like organisms, these are also prokaryotic. Rest of the organisms are eukaryotic, whether it's yeast or chlamydomonas, and all the plants and animals, they keep eukaryotics. We can configure organisms into two types on the basis of cell count. They are classified as unicellular and multicellular. Uni means these are made up of single cell, while multicellular organisms are made up of many cells. Here I can write the example of yeast, bacteria, and many unicellular algae like chlamydia. While rest of the plants and large plants and animals are multicellular. Rest of the topic related with cell we will discuss in our next class. Thank you everyone.